Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day to you, sir. So it has come to my attention. Somebody commented on my past video saying that you can't appropriate another person's culture, or humans can't appropriate human culture.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
So here is how I'm going to explain what appropriation is. Okay. And hopefully this will get through, as an example, and you can slowly understand. So, we're going to talk about gang affiliation. In specifics, let's go GD and 26. Okay, those are just two gangs that I know a lot about. So, you are not a gang member. This is the example. You are not a gang member. I am from a family of GDs, right? So I'm a GD, you're not a gang member. Would you come up to me knowing that I'm a gang member, throw up any gang sign, and wear our colors? Would you do that? Would you do that to a gang member? Would you take their style, emanate the way that they talk, copy their body language, their gang signs and shit? That is appropriation, and that will get you jumped. Do you understand? Does it? I'm trying not to be too judgmental, but coming from a person of color and coming from somebody who has a vagina, you don't want to rep a set that you ain't part of, so if you're not gonna rep a game that you're not part of, why are you gonna rep a culture that you're not part of? I totally understand appreciating culture. I get it. I love it. Appreciate it. Wear a kimono appropriately. Burn some incense that originated in the desert. I don't dance the bachata. Do it. Wear the cowboy boots. Go ahead. But realize that there are people who almost feel like they're represented by their culture. I love you too. And their their cultural representation. Think about this. How would you feel if the cast of Black Panther were all white? That shit just don't make sense. Stay true to your culture. It's so great to practice different cultures. I'm not paper lanterns are really popular in China. I'm not Chinese, but I do have paper lanterns around. I do have some things that have kanji. Never will I put that on my skin. But I do have runes. So, and I'm not a Viking, so you can go ahead and call me, an appropriator, even though they are Wiccan runes. But yeah, I just kind of got heated because somebody said humans can't appropriate human culture. You can if you've never been a part of it. You understand? If Shondell invites you to the barbecue and you don't usually talk like how Shondell talks, don't try to talk hood at the barbecue, okay? We all see what's really going on. Don't feel uncomfortable. Be your fucking self. I wish people of color and women didn't have to assimilate in order to belong. Everyone has to assimilate to an extent. But the fact that a Black woman has to cover her hair, has to cover a part of her. Your hair is your culture. These are literally the roots that are coming from my body. I know the purple is not professional, but I also know that the volume of my hair is not professional. How the hell are you going to expect people to have the same volume of hair in order to be professional? And not get mad at us for not wanting to do it. I want to be a natural person. Do you understand? Like that's assimilation. We're not welcome unless we look like you, right? But you think it's trendy to look exotic? What the fuck even is that? Daddy, chill. I'm sorry. I have meme Tourette's. It's not a diagnosis. It just means that every time I say anything that sounds like a meme, I have to finish the meme and or Vine or TikTok or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know. I've been brainwashed. But think about this. White guy from California wants to be a Rastafari, right? Smokes a lot of weed, gets locks, you know, starts reading, tries to go back to the motherland, you know, Africa, Zion, things of that. Coming from someone, hello frames, can I have them? There we go. Coming from someone who has studied Rastafarianism, number one, no, it's not all about weed. So quit it. That's like, it's sacrilegious. Let me wear a Catholic nun's outfit with my tongue sticking out with a choker on it. You know, like, that's so sacrilegious. Like, no, it's not okay. Just like you wouldn't pretend to need to be in a wheelchair in order to get a discount for something. You know, no. You're doing it for clout, and it's not cute. It's not cute. It's not cute. And the first time I said it's not cute, like something is not cute, is when I was referring to my friend who had a coke addiction. I dated him for a little bit, but then I had to stop because he wasn't trying to get help. And me and my cousin, when I say what's not cute, we go, coke's not cute. It's not cute. So, go ahead and appropriate gang culture. Or no, you can't appropriate. Go ahead and take that style and become that style and see what fucking happens. You know? Like, y'all know what happened to Magellan when he went to the Philippines, right? We wasn't fucking around. Like, if you, like, I'm not saying if you don't belong there, don't go there. What I'm saying is learn about something before you jump into it, especially when it has to do with somebody else's culture. You know, because if I dye my hair orange and get henna freckles and start calling myself a ginger queen, that wouldn't be appropriate, right? You don't know what cultural appropriation is? Google Rachel Dolezal. Like, or that German couple with the chick who has like size double J titties. And she's like, man, she's African dark. She's really dark. And she like believes that she's fucking African American. I don't understand. I understand transgender people. I understand when someone is going through a sexual flux. I understand if you can be asexual. I understand that you believe that you might be, you know, the accumulation of every soul at that moment. Yeah, sure, go ahead. But don't pretend to be something that you're not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have a PhD because I don't. I'm a college dropout. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a man because I have a vagina. I have expressed my gender fluidity. Okay? But you can't be transcultural. You understand? You can't believe that you're a Filipino woman stuck in a white man's body. That's a little much. I mean, Come to the Philippines, play the tinikling, dance the tinikling, you know, go to fucking Spain and learn how to speak Spanish with a lisp because one of their kings had a lisp and he made everybody else talk like a lisp. Go ahead and go to España. Like, even like people who live near Spain call it España. Anyway, like, before you pick something up and try to express it, learn about it. You know how every little boy has to realize that you can't spray Axe all over your fucking body. It's a bit much and nobody likes it. I know you're trying to smell cute, but it's not cute. That's what you're doing when Susie Q tries to get cornrows and starts saying she's black. I understand that there are people of all types of ethnicities, races, classes, whatever, that lived in the ghetto. I've lived in ghetto areas before, and you do see every type of color. But let me tell you something recent that happened to me that dealt with cultural appropriation and the fetishization of colored women. Let me tell you what the fuck happened. My boyfriend took me to Walmart. I do not leave my neighborhood without my boyfriend. Frames, hello. Okay. Yeah, I don't leave the neighborhood by myself. So he's like, let's go to Walmart. Okay, we went to Walmart. I'm trying to find my favorite chips. I don't know the brand. Shut up, Google. Do you hear this? It's trying to talk to me. Anyway, I don't know the brand, but I grabbed the chips and I was looking for my boyfriend, and I turn around and I see these 3 white guys wearing black do-rags and no mask. Okay, I can see their mouths. I have a mask. They don't have a mask on. So one guy looks at me and he does that. And he talks to his other guy. He's doing this, and then the other guy looks at me and I'm like, and they're like biting their lips and shit, and I'm like, Papi! I'm trying to call my boyfriend. I'm like, Pumpkin! And he's like, I'm right here. And I run to him. And first of all, let me explain why we wear do-rags. The last time I wore a do-rag, the tight one that goes over and ties in the back, okay, I had cornrows in my hair. Now, I know people who are trying to get waves in their hair and they put a do-rag on to protect that shit. I totally understand. But our hair is fine. Our hair is curly. We need to protect it. Why are you wearing a do-rag? Why are you wearing a do-rag? It's like when I see women wearing bonnet. First of all, I don't really like watching women wearing bonnets out in the open because that's for sleeping. Like that's so your hair can have protection and it's not rubbing on the cotton, because the thread count of cotton can break our hair off. So unless you want to spend $100 on pillowcases and sheets and shit, you get a $5 bonnet, you get a $2 do-rag. Like that is what it's for. It's for sustaining your hair in a certain place. Is that what you're doing, Kevin? Kyle? Doug? Y'all trying to get some waves? Just put fucking mousse in your hair. It's not made for you. There is a reason why when you walk into the Walmart and, by the pharmacy section where all the deodorant and tampons and shit is, there is a reason why us people of color get that little strip in that one aisle of hair care shit, It's the reason they have a fucking African section. Because our hair is different than a pale skin. A black person's hair is different than an Asian person's hair, which is different than a Puerto Rican person's hair, which is slightly different than a Dominican person's hair. Like, I'm really not trying to talk eugenics right now. I'm trying really hard not to seem like, that anti-white person. But I am losing faith in the male community. And it's fucking scary. I keep bringing up this fucking... What is that flag? The Federales? Confederate flag. With the Trump 2020 no bullshit, like, he's gone. It's 2021. We got Biden. Like, deal with it. Like, whatever. I just, if you don't believe in cultural appropriation, please dress in black and white, or dress black and blue. I want you to have the Star of David right over your heart. And every time you see a black person in a white Cadillac with the same colors, just go ahead and shoot them this. You know, just go ahead, please, because I want to fucking see what... In fact, go like this, because I want to fucking see what happens if you don't believe that cultural appropriation is real. Find you some gang members and try to act like them, see what happens. Please. Please. Because you will learn right away what happens when you're culturally appropriating and the people who you are stealing culture from get mad. Please. Please. Cultural appropriation is when Rachel Dolezal tanned her skin, got super permed, and tried to join into the NAACP. That's some infiltrating ass shit. Like, I'm not okay with that. You can speak for black people. You can I don't say speak for, but you know, you can be an ally. I totally understand it, but no. The NAACP to me is like the Black Panthers. You know, and when I say the Black Panthers, a lot of people think, oh, you know, they were just a bunch of thugs. Like, no. The Black Panthers are the reason why you have Link or Food Share or Quest or food stamps, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can thank the fucking Panthers. You can thank the fucking Panthers for WIC, which is women, infants and children, for when you're pregnant and you need resources. You know, like, I'm my feelings. I don't know why I'm taking this. I feel like I'm taking this so personally because as a child, I couldn't represent my cultures. As a child, if I represented my cultures, I was shunned. I was made fun of. Yet, somebody else can wear... I don't know. Like, I want to get married. My boyfriend's white. I want a Filipino-style wedding. I want him to wear a barong, which is... It's basically a nice dress shirt, and on the side, it has, like, embroidery. And, you know, I want there to be certain flowers and stuff like that. And, like, I'm thinking about my culture, you know? And I want to implement his culture so his family won't feel, like, fucking weird, you know? Going to a Filipino wedding, Filipino party, whoop whoop. But that being said, like, I had to straighten my hair in school. You know, I had to damage my hair in order to be accepted by my peers. And that's not fair. You know? God, this smells so good. I'm pushing on 20 minutes, so I should stop with this rant. But yeah, if you don't believe in cultural appropriation, by all means, please get some gang tattoos. Please go ahead and go to prison and don't hang out with your race at all. See what happens. I'm not saying people are racist, but people do feel safer when people have things in common with other people. And just because you have dreads doesn't mean that the Rastafari are going to accept you, especially if you're white. Do you know that white people are the devil in Rastafari culture? Like, do you know that? Why? I had this fanny pack. I know I sound like I'm going off topic. I have this fanny pack, and it was at Amigos and Us in Chicago, and I loved that head shop, and I really wanted to get the utility belt, and they only had the utility belt in Rastafarian colors, and I was like, I can't wear that. And they're like, well, you're black, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a Rastafarian. Let me know when you got different colors. Months pass, months pass. I'm about to move to Hawaii. So I go down and I fucking buy one of those Rastafarian colored ones. But then I dyed it blue. You know, so it's not Rastafarian colors anymore. It's like purple, green, and orange. So there's ways to appreciate a culture without making us feel uncomfortable. And I know a lot of people, I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's the Indian story again. When I was in the car and they were talking about how the first time they saw an Indian, they were in like high school. You know, I know you mean well half the time, but it's so fucking cringe. It really is. Lucy, you do not need box braids. It's going to rip your hair out. Okay? Those braiding styles are for women who don't need to wash their hair every week. Get it? I don't. This is all just my opinion. This is all just based off of my life and research. I'm not saying I have a PhD. Like I said, I dropped out of college. But certain stuff, like certain things a white person never has to worry about that black people do, and it's not fair. A white person can walk down the street in the middle of the night with something in their hand. A white person can walk around in a trench suit with their hands like this. A white person is 10 times less likely to be privately searched at an airport. Y'all got the smallest number of people in prison, but the biggest population in America. I don't understand. This math don't work out. And I keep thinking of my sociology professor. Evolution is deviation from the norm. And to deviate, we must be educated. We have to be educated. Because I'm not ready for a de-evolution. I'm really not. Well, I'm going to cut this short. Like I said, if you don't believe that that cultural appropriation is real, go fuck with the gang. Go dress like a gang member. See what happens. Oh, you don't want to do that? That's going to make them uncomfortable. They might kill you. Then maybe you shouldn't fucking do it. Maybe you shouldn't pretend to be something that you're fucking not. Maybe you shouldn't take somebody's culture because it's trendy. You know, it's like... I love Indian culture. I love it. I don't think that I have any Indian in me. Native American, but not Indian. However, I did the temple found me. I was just staring at a lotus. And I went to the temple, and it was a International Society of Krishna Consciousness. And they have a lot of Indian history, and they have a lot of religious history, and I took the time to be there, you know, and I was gifted with saris, and I bought, like the gold clay that you have to make the foot of Vishnu on your forehead. Now, I don't feel like that's cultural appropriation. I feel like that's cultural appreciation. However, if I were to go out and wear the foot of Vishnu on my head and a sari and then proceed to eat a steak burger, it's a little offensive. It's a lot offensive. This is really offensive. And you might not understand why, but I'm not going to explain it. Okay, I'm going to explain it. Cows are sacred. And most people in ISKCON are vegetarian or vegan. No, there's milk, but there's no animals or eggs or anything. So, do you see what I'm saying? For you to take a piece of their culture and then just do your day-to-day life, it makes them it makes us uncomfortable. It makes us uncomfortable. You know? Like, it's not cool. It really isn't cool. I took the time to learn about the history. I love India. I love their food. I love their clothing. I love their hospitality. I love their religions. Thousands, thousands, thousands. I If you really want to be part of a culture, if you're white and you want to know more about Native Americans, don't put don't put feathers in your hair. You know, don't wear just put some moccasins on and go to the nearest reservation and ask for some knowledge, some sustenance, some stories. You know, don't go over there in a headdress and look in a fucking Pocahontas costume. You know, go there as your true self and express frames and express how you want to learn about those communities, so you don't end up pissing off those communities by appropriating them. In my opinion, appropriating is when you're taking a piece of a culture because it's trendy or it's cool or exotic, that it does not belong to you, and you're taking it and you're expressing it, or you're trying to be a culture that you're not without trying to learn about that culture. Do you understand? When I was learning about ISKCON, yes, I wore saris a lot, but never did I bring a burger to the temple, you know, or I think the furthest thing that I did was singing songs underneath the subway with my guitar. And like, people actually gave me money, and I would split it half and half with the temple because like I was singing temple songs. But there's an appropriate way, there's an inappropriate way, and there's just like a cringy way, you know? And it's all appropriation. Even if you appreciate a culture, you can do it ignorantly, and that is the appropriation. It's the ignorance of the culture when you're trying to take it. That is appropriation. Do you need me to explain this any other way? Because you just joined YouTube in December of 2020, and it doesn't seem like you have any views online, so come at me, bro. Like, I don't understand. That one sentence was just, you didn't explain yourself. You know, you just, humans can't appropriate human culture. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I am not Chinese. I'm not German. I know a little bit of German, Dutch, Deutsch, whatever. You won't catch me in Lederhosen. You know, even during Oktoberfest, which is strangely in September. You might find me in Lederhosen at that point, but I'm not gonna drink. But you know, like there's a time and a place. There really is. And Jeff wearing a do-rag and looking at me while biting his lip in a wife beater in Walmart is not okay. I'm not on a shelf. I'm not for sale. I'm not a piece of meat. And take that motherfucking do-rag off. What are you trying to protect? You trying to get some waves? You trying to get some waves? It's going to make your hair look like mine, flat down. Like, no. And I know this because I do hair. Different cultures have different types of hair. You got Jews with their curly fros. You got, you know, Germans with their straight hair. Indians seem to have thicker hair, but it's still straight, you know. Puerto Ricans, it can go either way, curly or straight. Black people usually have really kinky hair, really curly hair, you know, and it's part of it is to protect us from the elements that our ancestors were exposed to. Like Brittany, you're gonna get box braids What you gonna do? Dry shampoo that shit? I don't think you can dry shampoo weave. Like I don't think that's how that works. And you gotta wash your hair in 2 days anyway. So why would you spend $150 in 3 hours to get some box braids for 3 days? Like that's not how it works. You gonna throw that lady's 3 hour work away? No, it's not cool. I gotta go. I really gotta go. I gotta go. I'm fuck.